Hello, it's Fast Charlie, and I've got a challenge lock here by Trekmaster30 called Shim, and keys in M-Tech. It's humongous. It's a SC keyway, it appears, or some type of Schleg type keyway. And I received this lock from K1 Locks. Oops. See if I can get in here. My guess is that there are probably T-pins in here. If he's saying I need to shim it. Or something wacky. There's a little bit of movement on, I think that was 5 actually. A little bit on 4. There was something on 1. I'm not sure what's going on with 1. Let's try that again. Oops. There we go. There's a pretty big false set there. Here's 3. Went back into the false set. And I'm not sure about 2. Oh. I may have overset 1 and 2. I think they came back down. Okay. Back into a pretty big false set. Deeper false set. There. That was quite a bit of counter rotation. There's 3. Here. Okay, here. I think this is 5. There we go. Yep. I think it opened on 5. Awesome. That was fun. Lots and lots of back and forth. And I suspect there are T-pins in there. Let's see. Well, that was a fun lock. Let's see if the spring will come out. There's the spring. Okay. And, well, shim it. We will. Oop. About did a bad thing. I almost shoved the plug out with my shim. Alright, use this steel rod homemade follower. And there is a dot on there, so I can keep track of the front. There's threading in 1, 2, and 3. And everything did need to be picked. Not too much on 1 or 2, but it definitely did need to be picked. And I'm going to use this awesome Fast Charlie pinning tray that Trekmaster30 sent to me. He made it and sent it to me as a surprise a while back, and I really appreciate it. Alright. Was just a 5-pin. Alright, yep, just 1, 2, and 3 are threaded. Get these flipped over. And yeah, number 1's a serrated T-pin. 2's serrated. 3 serrated. 4 is like a serrated spool with a T-pin on the top. And 1 serration on 5. 1 driver is a serrated spool. That's nice looking. And a very short copper spring. 2. Another serrated spool. And another copper spring. Uh-oh. 3 is, I would call that like a either very serrated or maybe a serrated double spool. We'll have to check it out and see how it acts. Let's see. I'm surprised we haven't come to a T-pin yet. Oh, here it is. Okay. It's like a double-ended T-pin. Oh, yeah, there's a wafer there. So it's like a double drunken spool kind of thing. That's pretty cool, man. And, a little tiny pin just flew out at me from number 4. From number 4, yeah. And then there's this sleeve here. And then I'll bet there's a wafer. Yep. Little tiny, tiny wafer. I just saw Cameron Dunn pick one of my locks, march forward, and it had a tiny, tiny wafer in it that it could definitely, there's potential for it to go flying. Let's see, up in the Bible, we've got nothing, no modifications done, but we are going to check out these pins because they're very cool. Number 1 driver, and it is reduced at the top. That was number 1 key-pin, not driver. Number 1 driver is this serrated spool. I don't think the spool comes into too much play there. It's more of acts like a serrated. 2 is serrated with a little bit of spool action if you go too far. And it's in a threaded chamber. This is about the same as 1 driver. And it's probably about the same. The spool doesn't really come into play too much. It acts like a big serration. 3 is a serrated. With this serrated T-pin. Well, no. No, that's not a T-pin. That's just super sharp. It's so sharp I could barely see it. There it is. Wow. Yeah, that's really sharp. 4 is this spool T-pin keypin. It's pretty short. With this wild guy on top here. Like this. And it's hollow here. That is really, really neat. There's a slight taper to it. But then it sits deep in here. Fairly deep. And then there's this little rod right here. And then, of course, a wafer sits on top of that. And then in 5, I've got serrated with this, I don't know, what do you call that? A double drunken spool ball? I don't know. I call it cool. I think it went this way. I might have to go back and look. You know, I don't know which way for sure. Let's see. Let me just check and make sure it's down all the way. Okay, it is. So I don't know which way that goes, actually. I'll have to look back at my video or see if I can find it. I'm guessing K1 Locks has picked this, but I don't know. I don't remember seeing him pick it. But, boy, I watch so many that I forget. But we'll figure that out before I put it back together. And here they are at rest. Very cool. Thank you, K1 Locks, for sending it to me. And, of course, thank you, Trekmaster30, for putting this out there and taking the time to make it. And also for sending this awesome pinning tray and all the other cool pinning trays and everything else that you've sent to me. All right, everybody, be good and be well. A little addendum here. I was looking at this. I was trying to figure this out. Man, it doesn't matter which way this goes because this is a little sleeve here in 5. That is so cool. All right. Yeah, so it slides around. Very cool.